Okay. Oh, alright. I got my Apple headphones. I got my laptop in front of me. You feel me? I'm a little sick. Y'all gonna have to mind me. But today we will be going over the best guards of all time. Now, when I say best guards, I don't mean guards meant for smoking tobacco out of. I mean guards meant for smoking that za. That shit you roll up with. That shit you split open. That shit you burn you like you have a great time with. So I'm gonna have my top five list. We're gonna start at number five, everything else. And when I say everything else, for those who don't know, for those who are not intrigued into the subject, such as myself, there are a lot of different cigarillos. There are many brands you can try. There are many brands that I have tried or haven't tried. But for the most part, most of them are kind of dog shit. Now, the other four that I have in this category are the best of the best. So your five will just be everything else. You at the smoke shop and you don't see nothing you like, you get these cigarillos. You at the smoke shop, you want to try something new, you get these cigarillos. You at the smoke shop and it looks kind of interesting, you get these cigarillos. So for right now, we have our number five spot, which is everything else. Now, at our number four spot, this may be a surprise to many. There may be outrage in the comments, but we have Dutches. Now, for those who don't know, Dutches are ass. Now, the main appeal that comes with Dutches is that they are similar to leaves in which they burn very slow and they have a very strong taste. And in my opinion, that shit is barely true. Now, not to shit too much on Dutches. I will smoke a Dutch if I'm at the smoke shop and I see an interesting flavor. Or if someone passed me a Dutch, it's not so serious to where I would just not roll it. But I will say the main strong suit of Dutches, the thing that everyone comments about Dutches, are just better done in other guards, which we will go over later in the list. And I will say personally, most of the time which I roll a Dutch, they're dry as fuck, right? It's because they're similar to leaves, they tend to be more drier than other guards. And when they're drier, guess what? They burn even faster. So the main appeal that come with Dutches isn't actually a factor that's in smoking Dutches. Like I said, they're not the worst guards of all time. I will still take those over anything else or random brand I've never heard of. But Dutches are never been a go-to. Now, again, I know in certain regions and certain places, Dutches are people's go-to. People praise Dutches, all that. I don't see the hype. Like I said, there's other guards that I will be naming later on this list that does what Dutch do just way better. So at our number four spot, we have Dutches. Okay, sorry, this is posted. This is something I forgot to mention. Another problem with Dutches are they are not easy to roll. Of course, I could roll a Dutch, but out of all the guards on this list, Dutches are probably the hardest to roll and the least rewarding for rolling them. Again, as we go over the other guards on this list, other guards are way more rewarding to actually roll, and they're not as hard to roll. How are you dry as fuck, difficult to roll, and you don't taste that good? Like, come on, you gotta pick a struggle. Now at our number 3.5 spot. Now I know y'all wondering why am I doing 3.5? It's because I have to bring up this brand. Cause I know certain people will be upset if I didn't bring up this brand. You feel me? We have zigzags. Now, personally speaking, I haven't really smoked a zigzag since I was like a teen in high school. I will say I tried a zigzag, I want to say around this time last year, and it was cool. You feel me? It burns pretty fast, and there's not a lot of variety in flavors, which is a fact that I did not mention in the Dutch section. But the variety of flavors are very important to me as someone who smokes a lot. So I will say zigzags are cool. They burn a little faster than every other guard here, but they were very easy to roll, very enjoyable to taste, and everything like that. So at our 3.5 spot, we have zigzags. Maybe they could be higher on the list if I look into them more and I try them out more. But from what I'm remembering in my past and from what I tried more recently, they're cool. Shout out to zigzags. Now we are in the big three section. These are my top three, and I will say the threes up here constantly change back and forth. But for right now, we have White Owl at number three. Now I love to call White Owl a smoker's first guard, and the reason why I call that is because for two reasons. One, flavor variety, and the second reason is it's easy to roll. Let's go over both reasons. Now, again, as I mentioned in the zigzag video, I believe that a variety of flavor is very important when it comes to cigars. Now, I know a lot of people don't care; they get the same flavor every time. But when you've been smoking as long as me, when you're a real cigar connoisseur, you love to see new flavors. I love going to the smoke shop and seeing new, interesting flavors. I love collecting the different guard packs. I love seeing limited edition. I will say, besides one other guard in the section, White Owl has the second most variety of flavors. They're always coming up with some new stuff. And for those who really are deep into smoking, you can actually scan a lot of the guards to get points on it. Now, I know that has nothing to do with actually smoking the guard, but it's a nice little bonus that gives you the incentive to keep going back and looking for new guards. Now, let's go to the second point. White owls are extremely easy to roll. In my opinion, of all the guards here, these are the easiest guards to roll. I ain't gonna lie, you could give me a bottom lip and a pinky finger, and I could still roll the white owl. They're very easy to roll. They taste really good. The only problem is that white owls will burn pretty fast. Now, they don't burn as fast as zigzags, but besides everything else, they probably burn the fastest. Now, if Dutches aren't dry as fuck, then they burn fast. They might burn faster than Dutch. Now, Dutches, if Dutches already dry as fuck, then I ain't gonna lie, they about the same as White Owls. But like I said, they're still my third favorite. I still smoke White Owls. I know some people shit on White Owls. I don't give a fuck. I love White Owls. You feel me? I would say that's probably like the second guy I ever like smoked, besides the other one on this list I'm gonna mention later. But shout out to White Owls, man. Shout out to the Bird Bug. Shout out to all of that. So that's our number 3 spot, man. We got White Owls. Now, at number 2, we have my first guard, the Swisher. Now, I know a lot of rappers shit on Swishers, and that's a lot of reasons why other people shit on Swishers. I will say, y'all gotta remember where y'all came from, you feel me? I see there's a lot of debate between Swisher and Backwoods. I don't really understand where that debate comes from because it's not really about the brands. It's really about what you're smoking. That's a question more of guard versus leaf, which is his own debate. And I'll maybe make a video about that in the future. Actually, I'm definitely going to make a video about that in the future. But let's hop back on Swisher. Why is Swisher in my number 2 spot and why is it over White Owl? In my opinion, Swisher is just White Owl, just better in most cases. So when I say that, number 1, Swisher has the most flavor variety. There are so many cool Swisher flavors that you can find that it's ridiculous. I love collecting Swisher guards. I love trying new flavors. All the flavors actually taste really good and they're very unique. And again, as someone who is a very big guard connoisseur, it gives me a reason to keep coming back. 2, Swishers are not hard to roll. Now, they are a little more difficult to roll than White Owl, but it's really not by much. So, again, and with that, they burn a little slower than White Owls. So, they burn slower than White Owls, have more flavor variety, and they're pretty much just as easy to roll. So, again, they're just better than White Owls in every way. So, again, and also, I'm not gonna lie, y'all boys, I'm biased by nostalgia. Like I said, I grew up on Swisher. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I can never shit on a Swisher, in my opinion. But I feel like I'm giving legitimate reasons, besides my bias, on why I think Swisher is the second best guard. And I will say at one point, Swisher was my number 1. White Owl was my number 1 too. But like, Swisher was consistently my number 1 for a long time, up until this next guard we're gonna speak on. And for those who really smoke, you probably know what the best guard is, since I haven't mentioned it yet. But let's move on to our number 1 spot. And at our number 1 spot, we have Game. Now, let me put you on Game. You lame. It ain't never been the same. Game is the best guard of all time. Why? The best way I can describe a Game is what Dutch wants to be. It burns slow, has a beautiful variety of flavors, and they're pretty easy to roll. Game smokes like a leaf. It's the closest you will get to a guard that smokes like a leaf without just getting an actual leaf. On top of that, Game actually has a lot of unique flavors. Now, not as many as White Owl or Swisher, but enough to keep things pretty interesting. I won't lie, there was a time period where I was almost exclusively smoking Game. Like, once I kind of realized how to get past my bias of Swisher, that Game was really the best guard, there's a time period where I was really only smoking Game. The flavor I was smoking was pretty much green and white grape. Like, I can't lie, those was hitting for a while. I want to say, like, maybe a couple months ago. I want to say between, like, October and, like, December, if I wasn't smoking the wood, I was smoking the game. I can't lie. Game was my number one. It's still my number one. Like I have mentioned already, beautiful variety of flavor, and they burn very slow. Like again, they're the slowest burning gar of all the gars I've mentioned. Now they're not the easiest of all, but they're the third easiest of all out of Swisher and White Owl. It would be Game, and again, burn slow. Like you could really smoke that bitch so cool. The flavor variety's amazing. It's just game be working. I ain't gonna lie. And just like White Owls, you can scan the back of the packs for like bucks or whatever. So I won't even lie. I actually have a couple Game Leaf like socks, and I have a hoodie as well. Just to show y'all my dedication, I might like throw a picture of my socks or my hoodie in there if I actually like find it or whatever. But yeah. So that has been this video on the best guards. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Please, again, mind my voice. I am a little congested, as you can hear. But I hope y'all enjoy this kind of style content. I do want to make more like this. I might do like a video on like the best leaves if this video does decent. Or I might do a video on like not game, fuck. I'm high. Y'all gotta excuse me. Guards versus leaves. So just let me know. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day. Peace.